And we're live. Ivan,
Hello.
two snakes are crawling down the path, and one says to the other one, "Are we poisonous?" And the second snake says, "Why?" And the first one says, "I just bit my tongue." I know it's terrible. G'day everybody, it's JT, and of course we have the other guy with us tonight, Ivan Miranda.
Hello.
How are we going in the chat? Have we got one yet? Oh, what you making? There we
What you
go.
making?
There we go. He's here.
Hello.
Aussie, which is good.
Let's see.
Aussie.
That's why he's watching us and not being at work or something like that.
Correct. Although we do get quite a bit of a European contingency.
Yeah, maybe people that works only in the mornings or something.
Yeah.
Oi, oi.
Yeah, true. Oi, oi, exactly. Ivan, so we've missed a couple of episodes, of course. Obviously,
Yes.
obviously the running joke was that you're a bit of a prima donna, and the contractual obligations were not met. So your trailer wasn't big enough.
Where's my trailer? Where is my trailer?
Correct.
In my bowls of only red M&Ms.
Yeah, bowls of red M&Ms. Yes, exactly. Well, Wellbot was right onto that one.
Yes.
He did mention that. I did actually go searching for bowls of red M&Ms on Google. I was going to tweet some pictures of just red M&Ms. It was easy enough to find. I might actually buy some actual ones just to keep the joke running along.
But I don't know. Do they test differently?
The
red ones.
I wouldn't think so. No,
It's only the color, right?
Yeah, no, it's all sugar. It's just total sugar.
Yes.
So,
Diabetes waiting to be happen.
What's that? Sorry.
Diabetes waiting
yes,
to happen.
Diabetes waiting to happen. Absolutely. So I've been unwell. We've missed a couple of episodes.
Yes.
I liked your explanation actually of
Yes, I told the AT before that we missed these two episodes because things coming out of people's bodies.
Yeah, exactly.
Roughly, very abstract.
Yeah. So but I'm on the mend, and you're getting less sleep.
Yes, the thing is that we happen to be unexpectedly at the hospital at the very same time. I think we did enter the hospital at almost the very same time in opposite sides of the planet.
Yeah.
And we started chatting because we had an episode that day, right?
Yes, we did.
And the thing is that I told you that my wife water broke.
Yep.
And you told me that?
That I had gallstones and my gallbladder needed removing. Tom is here.
Yes. But the thing is that it ended happily for the both of us, right?
Yep, totally. So the joke I was going to make was that you've been working on a project for months and months and months, and but I couldn't say anything.
Yes. The thing is, I don't like to talk that much publicly about this, but being a father is something that happens to everybody. And now I'm averaging like 4 hours of sleep a night, but I'm happy. That's
happy is good, and I'm also happy because the bits they took out of me are causing much less pain now.
Yeah, we kept talking from time to time to see if you were having your bladder removed.
Yep.
And that my baby was born, and we started sending each other photographs of what we were doing.
Exactly.
in the hospital bed, and me feeding my baby, and
yeah. So
it was kind of a happy coincidence.
It worked well that both of us were unavailable for 2 weeks.
Well.
The same time, But being the
that's very professional.
Oh, absolutely.
Very professional.
Coordinate our hospital visits. Not everyone would do that.
No.
Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm still pretty stuffed. I've been out for a week now. I foolishly worked last week, but had to. Didn't really have too many choices. But this week I'll take it easy and get more rest. So I'm not used to talking. Not used to talking so much.
And my eyelids hurt right now. I'm working so hard to keep my eyes open.
Yep.
I usually don't sleep during the day,
Yep.
but yesterday afternoon I told my wife that it happened. We had a window of opportunity on 1 hour and 15 minutes, where we had people taking care of one of the kids and the other. I slept of those 1 hour and 50 minutes, I slept 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's what it took me to go to bed and put the head on the pillow.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Well, because you're still making videos.
Yes. I don't know how it happened. I told my Patreon supporters that I was trying to be ahead of my video releasing schedule. So I was trying to have like 4 weeks of videos in advance, so I could be prepared for the baby.
Yep.
And it happened that I took from my morning job 2 days off just the week before the baby was born, and I managed to be 2 weeks ahead. But those 2 weeks ended last Friday. So last week I managed to pull off another video. So that's with lots of collaboration from the family and only recording when both babies were asleep.
Yes.
So it takes a little bit of logistics and planning, but yes.
So how's the new shop?
It's now it feels like a bomb dropped in here. This is the nice view. This part in here is kind of more or less nice and organized.
Yep.
But the other side that I cannot show yet is like because I brought all the things to this shop, and I wanted everything to be. Now I'm planning to stay in this shop. This place is big enough and it's in a very nice place, and I can do everything that I need to do in here. So I wanted to be more or less definitive. So I'm investing a lot of time in organizing all the things that I have, and leave it clean and planning on what I'm going to do, because lots of people showed lots of concern about what I'm going to do for heating and cooling, because I have a very big door with a gap this big to the outside. So there is no way that I'm going to heat or cool down this place with those openings in there.
Yeah.
So I'm taking lots of effort and carefully planning and organizing and setting everything as it should, because it's going to be for a long, long time.
Indeed, yes.
You have a photograph that shows.
If you want me to show that photograph.
Yes, please.
We'll go here.
So the thing is that I have a door, and in the mornings the sun hits on that door, and it's like an oven. This is not the highest temperature that I've recorded on that door. It's 52 degrees, I think, Celsius.
52.
And that acts as a convection oven. So the air circulates. The air hits the door, goes up, and circles around again.
Yes.
Cool air hits the door and starts circling, and this reaches like 30 degrees in like in an hour.
Okay. Wow.
But I'm working on that. I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, it's a big space. You can always stay in the bottom half, the lower half.
Yes, depending of if it is winter or summer.
Correct.
I should have 2 floors and go up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
There is in my plans. There is something about floors in here, not the entire space, but I'm planning on something.
Okay.
Which will have lots to do with this podcast in here. So.
Oh, very good.
You will see.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yes.
There's very little echo.
Now.
Oh, actually, yeah. When you enunciate like that, yeah, there's a bit, but I haven't really picked up. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. All right. Well, don't do that. It's totally fine. Excuse me.
Yeah, but now there is lots and lots of stuff in here in the floor in the everywhere.
Yeah.
That kills a bit the echo. But when I'm finished with this place, the sound is going to be completely dead.
Oh, good. All right. Sounds like a plan. Now I've got a couple of other pictures you've sent me, and I saw your wig earlier. I'll show you. I'll go to that.
Yes.
I'll go to that picture. I do like your banana for scale, which is
Yes.
cassette tape for anybody that cares to wonder.
And I'm pretty sure that I did post that to Twitter, and lots of people didn't exactly knew what was that.
What that was?
Even if they recognize it, there is lots of people that they don't know what that tape is. They recognize it as a vintage item.
Yes.
But but not all of them know that. And the thing is, I have it in here, just so you can.
Hold on. Let me switch to you. Hello to Fernando. Hello to Teresa. I can see you both there
Hello.
in the chat. And Ivan's got a new hat. Here comes Ivan's hat. There we go.
It's
That's
a lot of plastic going to the trash.
that was unfortunate.
The good thing about this failure is that the part was the last no, from the 10 millimeter line, from the 10 millimeter layer to the top, to the 380 millimeter layer, all the layers were the same. So no matter where did it fail, I could still use the part.
Ah, okay.
The higher the better, but I didn't have to throw it in the trash.
Oh, okay. So the image I've seen, you can join another half to the top of it.
No. I don't need to join it.
Ah.
I can use it like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't need the entire height.
Oh, you don't need.
You will see.
Okay, all right.
Your time why, but.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. And the other thing that I did is that I'm not sure why did it do the wick, but in the first 40 millimeters or so, the extruder skipped a few layers. It jammed or something. I have to take a look at the printer. So I did turn manually the CR10 Z-axis lead screws.
Yep.
Until the head would lower, touching the part, and it kept printing another 150 millimeters or something like that.
Okay. So you joined it on top. So you restarted at a different zero.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't stop the print.
Oh, okay.
While it was printing, I did
okay. And you just you forced it down to where it had failed.
Yeah, I think I can show you the part because
Okay.
the part is looking
All right. I misunderstood. Yes, Teresa, I'm upright. I'd rather be lying down, but I'm upright.
I don't know if you can see here.
Yeah. That's clear.
There is a line. That's where I join the part.
Wow.
And as you can see, it's on the same until the top.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when it did fail. So I can use it.
Good.
So like 3D printing part mending. I did fix it on the fly.
That's what we call Miranda Mend.
Yes, that's a Miranda Man.
Mending.
Hashtag Miranda Man trademark.
Of course. What else have we got here? Now, you sent me some boxes of filament. Pictures of boxes of filament. Is this... let me show you.
Okay.
This one.
Yes, I did ask a printer pro to send me some white and black filament because it's really useful. Sometimes you can only do stuff like the clock in my shop with white filament or black filament.
All right,
and
I'll flick this across.
Yeah, they did send me. Yes, they did send me 4 boxes of black, 4 boxes of white, and I also told them that I will require some wood filament for another project. and they did send me another 4 boxes of wood filament.
Okay.
So they have lots of trust on me.
All right, so those ones there are the wood filaments, obviously. And they're the black ones and they're the white ones. Yep, okay. Cool.
Yes. And now that Ferheret is here, I'm. Have you seen that I've been posting questions on Twitter about which extruder to use, or which hot end is going to be the most reliable, or which are the most frequent failures for people with 3D printing?
I haven't seen that thread because pretty much I've been off Twitter for the best part of 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'll go.
But
searching.
I'm planning on and as some of my Patreon supporters already know, I'm planning on building a very large, at least a 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter 3D printer, which is going to be the smallest version of the system that I'm designing.
Yep.
I hope.
Yep.
And I will probably print one of first designs on that one to see one of his wavy designs in really huge. Because I got indirectly challenged by Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd, because he said that 7 days and something was his largest print. It was one of Ferheret's prints.
Yes.
So I will try to one-up him.
Okay. So Fernando's in the chat, obviously. Which model are you thinking?
It depends on what he's working on when I'm finished.
Okay.
Because I'm not really sure how long it's going to take. I have here almost all the parts that I require, but I would like to use Duet 3D electronics, which will require quite a bit of budget because just only the Duet 3D Wi-Fi and the expansion board, which I will require due to the number of extruders, is going to be quite expensive.
Okay.
So I need to save to buy all the remaining parts. Okay. But all the mechanics and the hardware, I already have it. So I will start. I'm not sure if I'm going to start this week, but next week for sure I will start on.
Okay.
On that week. And I think I will try to keep it parallel to the videos that I'm doing now. So maybe there is going to be one video every 2 weeks extra, where I can show the on that one.
Yeah. Because you were talking 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter at some point, were you not? Or am I imagining that?
Yes, this 0.5 meter. This design is going to use linear guides instead of. It's going to use MHN12 linear guides and carriages. So the largest I can buy of those is 1.5 meters. So that's the limitation of the 3 axes.
Okay.
So I will have a design that will start in 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter, and when that is working correctly, I will go up to the 0.5 meter by 0.5, so 1.5 meters by 1.5, 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters.
So what mechanism will this be? Core XY, or will it be Cartesian? Do you think? How?
I'm hoping to go Cartesian, but I'm planning to very politely show the middle finger to everyone that is trying to do filament swapping and hot end swapping and filament splicing, and I'm planning to have lots and lots of hot ends on the cartridge.
Well, yeah,
at least.
I saw Chris Riley's Duet Wi-Fi YouTube video today because I'm resting up, so I'm watching YouTube videos, and he talked literally about tool heads and numbers of tool heads,
yes,
which is obviously what you're now talking about.
Yes.
So how many?
I will try to start by using four hot ends, 4 extruders, but the thing is that the main carriage and the main bridge of a Cartesian printer mass is not that critical regarding speed if you are planning on using something like a volcano, for example.
Yeah. How many millimeters is is the nozzle that you're thinking?
Between 0.2 and 1.2, between 0.8 and 1.2 millimeters.
Excuse me.
So the maximum that I can print with 1.75 filament.
Yep.
I would like to keep the same filament thickness across all my printers.
Yes, that makes sense.
The smalls.
Yep.
But I think at least using 4 hot ends and maybe even 1 hot end leave it with a direct extruder, so I can mix, for example, PLA and flexible filaments in the same print.
Yes.
And I'm planning on doing a printer that I will use, for example, more than 1 motor for axis. For example, in the x-axis that moves the carriage along the bridge, I will try to use 2 motors, 1 on each side, to double the jerk acceleration that I can afford.
Yep.
And I think with that I will be able to use a very heavy carriage.
All right. So, if it's, would these be direct drive or Bowden? Bowden.
Depending, I will use some Bowden and some direct drive, depending on which filament I'm planning on use on each one.
Yeah, because.
But I think at least one will have to be direct drive to be able to use it with flexible filaments.
Some of the flexibles, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes. Yes.
I've just seen one of the comments. Fernando's longest print was 40 hours so far.
That's the. I'm trying to remember because I finished the design of one of the incoming projects, and the Simplified 3D told me that it was going to be 140 hours, and I thought, oh well, it's going to be finishing on time.
No, multiply by 1.3, 1.4 is my normal rule of thumb with Simplify 3D.
Yeah, no, I'm planning on failing once. So I have twice the time available to do that print.
Okay.
So I'm planning on having enough time to, if it fails mid-print, to be able to start it again.
Okay.
That's my rule of thumb. Twice the time.
Twice the time. All right.
And not in hours, but in days.
Yeah, of course.
So if it is 32 hours, that crosses for me the line of 1 day. That's 2 days for me. So I need 4.
Yeah, okay.
I plan a 32-hour print is 4 days for me.
Okay. Well,
sometimes I walk on the tightrope, and I gamble a bit, but usually that's what I try to do.
And then your roll of filament falls over, and then you're stuffed. Have you fixed all your all your spools or your spool holders?
Not really. No.
Okay.
No, I've completed the 3D model of one of the spools, which is a cylinder with a hole, so I can design a reliable spool holder. But I haven't had that much time in the past 3 weeks, so I'm just jumping one hurdle after another, so I can catch my breath and be able to have a pace again.
Teresa gets twitchy for any thing that's over 10 hours, and Brian Vines is welcoming us all and thanking us for being alive, or thanking me for being alive.
Yes, thank you for being alive.
Yeah. Ooh, sexy.
Teresa, if you look at this. But this one of these, I think, is already 3 hours and a half. One link.
One link. So when I've seen photos of, or your Patreons have seen pictures of entire beds worth. What's a CR10 bed worth of treads worth in time, print time, approximately?
78 hours, maybe.
Oh wow.
I think 78 hours.
Okay.
Yes.
We have
those prints that you have seen, the largest CR10 print bed was started in Wednesday afternoon, and it finished in Sunday morning, I think.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes, and all the time, fingers. And one of the prints on one of the printers failed once, very early in the print. So no big damage.
No, okay. But you would have allowed double anyway. Yes.
Yeah,
No.
I did print.
No, but do you allow double time for everything?
Yes. No, but depending, if I require for this one, I require 42 links. I did print almost double.
Okay.
In just in case one of the printers failed, I could start another print with the other three.
Yep.
With a third of the links.
Okay. Each.
I'm starting to realize that I invest a lot of time planning on failure. Trying to plan
there's nothing wrong with that.
No. But that's why I asked it about in Twitter. I did ask our fellow Twitters which one was the most common failure for them with 3D printing.
Ah, that one I answered. I did bed adhesion was my answer.
That was the largest issue that everyone had, and that hasn't been an issue for me. Like I don't even plan on having that failure. The only time when that happens is when the last time that happened is when the Anycubic Mega i3, one of the wires of the bed failed, and when the bed cooled down, the print lifted. Yeah. But if not, I really encourage everyone, if you want to print with PLA, use the clean glass method. It never fails, never. And if you don't have the patience or the means to have your mirrors always clean, buy an ultra base glass for your printer. Yeah, they don't pay me anything.
I'm a big advocate for ultra base as well, as you know, and that started because of the i3 Mega. But the only reason I said bed adhesion is because I'd never had any of the other problems that you had on your pole. And the only reason I had bed adhesion was an issue was if I ever tried to print ABS, which I gave up on long ago. I just don't do it anymore. I just have no interest.
No, ABS, if you are going to print with ABS, you have to be willing to invest a serious amount of time tuning your printers. If your print is going to be larger than this size, you must have a heated, a closed heated chamber, enclosure, yes. And most probably try to print in a wooden bed, a heated thin wooden bed where you can screw the brim of your prints to the bed. I've seen companies doing very large prints with ABS, but adding a kind of a brim, a skirt to the print, and screwing that to the bed.
Oh wow! Okay.
So
cool.
So it doesn't lift. And other thing that the other fail that is very, very common is having too low layer addition between layers because they use not enough heat, and then the part cracks in the middle.
Yeah.
But that's because usually when you are used to print with PLA, you use too low temperatures with ABS.
Okay.
And use extraction because the fumes of ABS are very nasty.
Yeah, yes. Look, I've got the lac table from IKEA to do it. I've got a little ceramic heater cartridge. I've got a thermostat. I've got all of the crap to do it, but I'm not interested now. Not interested. Teresa's asked a good point. Does anybody bother with ABS now that we have PETG? I've got some
nylon.
Yeah, exactly. And hello to Thierry, who's also commenting. Thierry Dieu, I think that's pronunciation. I know it's Thierry.
Yes, what I'm making says
is very stringy.
What I'm making says that PETG is very stringy for me. Retraction, temperature. There is some adjustment to do there because PETG with a well-tuned simplify or Cura profile, it doesn't string a bit.
Okay. That's good. Seems PLA is getting the better all
because
time.
that
Yes.
I, I think the thing is that PLA is so easy to print with that people that start printing with PLA feels that it's very hard to switch to another material.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Oops.
the first filament that I used to print with was ABS. I did use a Grabman 3.1 from Bits from Bytes in 2010, and they only had ABS to print with 3 millimeter ABS. And that was really complicated. And the biggest parts that you could do were this big. If you tried to go bigger, the parts started to lift. But with PLA, you buy a CR10, you put a spool of PLA on it, and it prints.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, totally. Just looking at some comments. Thierry's looking at getting a second printer, looking at getting Ender 3, which is all the rage. I've got one in a box. I just, apparently I've been unwell, so that's on the list of things to do. But yes, rave reviews, the Ender 3.
That's really a really cheap printer.
Oh yeah,
heard.
totally. Mine was 258 Australian dollars shipped.
Wow, that's really cheap.
Which is like 200 US shipped, something like that. So it's one of those things where you just sometimes have to bite the bullet because you can.
Yeah, I've been suggested to build a farm of Ender 3 printers because it's so cheap that I should just keep buying and print everything with them. But I need a bigger
for that price. Yeah, holy sheep balls, as Teresa's saying. Yeah, it's really economic. Yeah, our cocoons were $500 each, weren't they, Teresa? And Brian Vines, he's got his Monoprice Select as well. Duplicator, sorry. Beg your pardon, Wanhao Duplicator, which is the same sort of thing because he does his Monoprice. Oh, maybe it is Monoprice Monday. I don't know. Same. Brian, chime in and let me know. They're 250 Canadian from Creality. I don't know what the exchange rate is, but yeah, it's still very economic. I was going to buy one, but I just don't need it. I've literally got too many printers that I don't use.
Yep.
I've got some projects that needed it, and it just adds to the whole maker environment. You're doing production, Ivan, but I'm doing hobby. But I can go, I'm gonna stick a laser on this one, or I'm gonna put something else on this one, and spare parts as well.
Yeah, I've told you this before. I every 2 or 3 weeks, I have to replace the hot end of one of the CR10s or the CRs because they create some goopy stuff inside them, and there is no way to clean them.
Yeah.
And the entire hot end of a CR10 nozzle, heating block, cartridges, thermistor, thermal barrier, heatsink, fitting, PTFE tube, another fitting, clippers, tape, zip ties, spare nozzles. That's all of that is $17, 17 euros in here.
That's incredible.
Which is like it's so cheap that it's cheaper to swap the entire hot end than the cost of the time of trying to fix it or cleaning it or anything.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's super quick. It's really quick.
Thierry's saying Australia to Canada is dollar for dollar roughly, so $250 makes sense. Brian, he's paid $350-ish for his, which is about right, I guess. $350 US is maybe 400 something Australian.
Per is asking if I'm planning to do something with some big invention with the empty spools that I have, but I don't have them I don't have them anymore. Before I moved here, I had a very tight window of time when I could do the move. So I did have to send them to be recycled to the place where they pick the trash in here to be recycled. So I didn't want to move trash, so I did have to throw them away. And it was a good laugh to see everyone in the comments talking about the growing stack of spools behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will start another one with the Aprinta Pro spools. Those are much bigger.
Well, they're the 4 kilogram ones, yes, of course.
Yes, I finished one the other day.
Your first one?
My first one.
Oh, good.
Which means that I've already used like 12 or 15 kilos of it, because I have another 4 spools open, and 3 of them are almost done.
Almost empty. Yeah, yeah. I bet people would pay $20 for a broken Ivan Miranda hot end. See, Brian's, yeah, exactly. Brian's saying you should sell the broken parts as mementos, and if you got $20 each, there's your €17. You get it for nothing.
Yes.
Put them on eBay.
Yes. Wait a second. Yes, pues I tried to print TPU on the CR10 Mini, and it did beautifully for like a half spool, and then it jammed, and then I had to switch the hot end again. So yes, TPU in those hot ends is terrible.
So anything Bowden, is that what you're saying, or you're specifically saying Creality type hot ends?
Reality type hot ends.
Okay, so
they work well with, yeah, for someone that prints at home and makes little parts, and they use like 1 kilo a month, it makes sense, because you will have to switch your hot end or clean your hot end like once a year. But your once a year for me is once a month.
Yes.
So but that's why I was asking which one was the most reliable hot end on Twitter. And everybody said E3D
V6 probably.
V6.
Yeah.
Yes.
The genuine.
The genuine. Yeah. Everybody said buy the genuine, not a copy.
Yep.
But is that all metal hot end? Did you know that? Everybody does anyone know that?
I don't think mine is. Mine recently shipped. I don't think it was but I did get a Micro Swiss all hot end for my Cocoon Create Monoprice Select 1 How i3 duplicator model, because I've got some test filaments from eSun and Hello 3D, which are abrasive. So I thought I better do
but
something.
Making says that, yeah, it's all metal.
Thank you. How many kilometers of filament do you use per month? Enough to go to the moon and back? Well, if 1 kilogram is approximately 300 to 340 meters, approximately, a 4 kilogram then is 1.2 to 1.4 kilometers, roughly. I don't know what that in miles, but he did ask in kilometers, even though he's in the US. Hey, Filament Frenzy in the house.
Hello.
Don't stuff up. Yeah. I'll make sure I get the cartridge in the right hole, Teresa.
Yeah, I will, but then I think I will go for E3D hot end, and I will try to use like at first like 4 of them, and then I will try to grow up from that.
Yeah, but your other machine that you're talking about, obviously the Volcano or something like that, just to push the filament through.
Yes, because when you go to those sizes, even if you can wait like 3 weeks for a print, it doesn't make much sense. You are gambling with if the lights go out, or anything can happen.
Oh,
so
totally.
And even with a print that size, the amount of dirt that can get into the hot end after, like, let's say 8 kilos of filament can jam the filament before you finish the print.
Yeah.
So it's better to go with bigger output and just be in the safe side. We're both ready.
Thierry.
Oh, I had in the I did when I had the Rapman from Bits from Bytes, the hot end was like 100 replacement for the hot end. Only the heater block, which was made by them with some form of cement, was like 180 pounds, which is like 220 euros for a replacement.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have.
But you're talking so 8 years ago.
Yeah. And what I did is I used an M6 bronze screw, a bolt.
Yes.
And I did with the Dremel file the tip until it was like a tip like this.
Yes.
Then with a 0.4 drill a hole inside, and in the other side with a 3mm drill a hole in the other side for the filament.
Yes.
And then I did put a washer on it, and then I started putting fire cement, the one that uses for ovens and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I bought a convection heater, one of those heaters that blow hot air, like that you use to heat up rooms. And I did remove the heating, the nitromium filament of it, and I started looping it around the tip, around the bolt, and then did put another layer of fire cement, waited for it to dry, and another loop, another layer, dry, another loop, until I had enough loops to match the resistance that the electronics could handle, to mimic the original heater block.
Yeah.
And I ended up with a ball of cement like this big, with a bolt tip coming out of it, and then I did bolt that to the remaining of the machine, and I used that to print. I did end up manufacturing like 6 of those. I became really good at that.
So you've been crazier than longer than I know.
Probably. I could not afford neither to buy a new hot end, nor to not have a 3D printer.
Of course. Oh.
So.
Wow, necessity is indeed mother in all invention. Exactly. Very good. I was going to say, Thierry made a comment. He was saying that don't fix what's not broke. I actually saw someone the other day saying, if it ain't broke, upgrade. So instead of if it ain't broke, don't touch it. If it ain't broke, upgrade. Yeah. That was good.
Yes. I don't have time to upgrade the printers because there is always one broke.
Oh, always.
Almost always there is one broke. Now the CR10 upgraded is failing. That's the one that did this week. It did this week after I did swap the hot end. So maybe that's the issue. And the Anycubic i3 Mega is failing in the worst way possible, which is randomly.
Oh, yeah.
It makes 2 good prints, 1 bad print, 2 good prints, 1 bad print.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I cannot just guess what's going on. I'm tempted to just record an entire print to see if I can spot what's going on.
What are the symptoms? What's actually happening with the print? Oh, looks like we've just lost Ivan. Oh, I can hear him.
For that. For the STL of the week.
We lost you for about 10 seconds.
Yes, the camera just did something weird.
Okay.
I don't know.
No problem. So my question was, what are the symptoms that the i3 Mega is experiencing with the fails?
Shifted layers and skipped layers. It has to be some jam or something like that, because there are layers that are shifted, and then it misses some layers where it does not print, and then it starts again.
Filament's not snagging, is it?
No.
Okay.
No. It is using one very tiny spool of 750 grams of PLA in a spool holder. That's nothing for the extruder of the i3 Mega.
No, of course. Okay.
The i3 Mega could lift an entire 4-kilo spool from the floor.
All right. I'm not going to test mine, and I'm sure Tom's not going to test his.
The other day, I thought, because have you seen that they have a 3D printer in the ISS?
Yes.
Yes, and there is no gravity, or there is microgravity in there. And I don't know if anybody has done, like, turning around a 3D printer, bolt it to something and try to print upside down.
People have done that on Earth. People have printed upside down on Earth. So it does work. So it should work as well in space or in low gravity.
I don't think they have a regular FDM printer there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's a CR10.
No, you think it might be more expensive?
Yes, at least Ultimaker 3 price.
Okay.
By the way, did you read that they had a leak on the ISS?
Yeah, you stick your finger in it. Where's the camera there?
They did stick the finger
I
on
know.
it.
Yeah. What you're making said.
Did you read that?
Sorry, what you're making said. Press reset has done the upside down printing. So Preston at press reset. Yes, sorry. Go on. Finger in the plugging of the hole.
Yeah, they did plug the hole with the finger, and then they impregnated with resin some band-aids that they had on board, because they could not find any of the several patch kits that they have on board.
Oh, really? There's a procedural fail.
Yes, because they have, and it seems that they have at least one in each chamber, that in each compartment that can be closed, and they could not find any on the entire space station, which means it doesn't happen a lot, and that they didn't check for them in a very, very long time.
Yeah, clearly. Wow.
And now there is one guy in the next Dragon capsule that is going to go up, saying, "Wait, don't close the door. Put this inside," like another kit. So
yeah.
Yeah.
What you're making? He just needs to print a hat and a clown nose. They're talking about your red filament hair. Do you know how long that filament actually ran for? What is the duration? Yes. What is the duration that ran for? Like that?
I think this is a day and a half.
So you don't go to the shop every day? What's wrong with you? Have you got an excuse?
This one happened. No, this one happened while I was at the hospital, I think.
I understand.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. I gathered that. That's why I said, do you have an excuse?
Do you know what I did just after that happened?
No. What did you do?
I bought an IP camera.
An IP camera to check on your prints? Yes.
Now there is an IP camera pointing at the farm.
Oh, good.
Which can be moved because those got absurdly cheap right now.
Yes. I've
like
got
30 euros for an IP camera with pen and tilt.
Yeah,
and Wi-Fi, and Ethernet, and SD card recording.
Very good.
How? When did that happen? I did miss that. When did that?
Yeah. What brand? D-Link or a no-name Chinese brand?
Oh, D-Link is expensive.
Yeah.
I bought one that is named SRICAM, SRICAM. But the thing is that the app asks for permission to record on the phone, video and audio,
Yes.
to access your media files, to make calls, to send SMSs, to access my fitness data from my phone, from my watch, and my newborn baby. It asks for permission for absolutely everything. And then when you have your app open and you hit back to close, a message pops up and says, if you hit back once again, it will close the app. You say, okay, that I want to close the app. You hit back again, and then you slide down on the notification bar for those Android users around here, because I'm pretty sure that you have an iPhone. The Android says you, this app that you think you closed is still running. Do you want to force close it?
Yep.
Yes, JAYTEE?
No, the Apple logo is a giveaway that I might have an iPhone. Yep. So it's still running in the background.
Yes, it's a privacy nightmare.
Yeah, totally.
Luckily, Android gives you tools if you are smart or fast enough, so you don't allow the app to do anything that it wants to do. But I'm pretty sure that everybody, if you have that app installed and you give all the permissions that it asks for, Xi Jinping can watch you sleep. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, I understand. There was recently, Daniel Noré had a competition for, I can't remember what it was. It was like 100,000 subscribers or 50,000. I can't remember the number, but he had a competition, and it was through a different provider other than Gleam, which is what everybody uses for competitions. So Gleam.io, and I went to register, and it said we're going to have full access to your Google account, and I've gone, I'm not entering this competition.
No way.
Hell no.
That's a really bad idea.
Yeah. If I wanted you to read my stuff, okay, sure, right? But control my Google account? No way. Not on your life.
No. Did you mention that to Daniel?
Yes. He basically said sorry, but there was someone else said exactly the same thing. Yeah, Brian's got two interesting comments. One, he said no to any sort of competition that asks for those permissions, and secondly, he wants the STL for your coloured wig.
Yes, I will put it on my website. I don't think that I can post the STL for this, but I think I could easily make a G code for a CR10 that makes something very similar.
Or we'll just get Fernando to do a OpenSCAD random something.
Yeah, but even if you do it in OpenSCAD, still the slicer is going to try to make layers. And
oh yeah, true.
But if you say to the printer, like, do circles, start printing at 3 millimeters, or maybe start printing in the first layer.
Oh yeah.
Make a circle and then lift 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter.
I see.
1 millimeter.
It just drops.
Go down. Go up.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you are lucky enough, it will start to fire.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Not.
We just lost you again. I'm looking at the seconds. Haven't got you back. 10 seconds. We've lost you.
But what's going on?
You're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're back. No problem.
Okay. I had the wig between my router and the computer, and I think it blocked the. Why I'm doing this? I didn't have the USB adapter and the Ethernet that I mentioned you. Do you remember that I mentioned that? But I had it all set up in my table.
So you're Wi-Fi at the moment?
Yes, and I have an Ethernet cable right there.
Yeah, good on you.
I could try and do that now.
This is why we got you to move shop, so you had wired internet.
Yeah. All this effort just for that Ethernet cable, and I did for it.
Yeah. No, well, not to worry. Printoid is nice.
What's Printoid?
And Android app for controlling prints, I believe.
And how do you connect the Android to the printer?
Don't know. I just know what.
Because I have a bucket of Android devices. Literally, I have a bucket of Android devices. You don't have a bucket of iOS devices because those are expensive, and you hold onto those until then. Now you have to brag about how many Android, how many iPhones do you have.
There's another one here somewhere.
So that's an Aussie bragging about how many iPhones that.
No, I'm preparing one for sale. One of my mates.
And yes, that's what you do. That because you want to recover some of your investment.
Well, actually, I was going to give it away to my son, but one of my mates dropped his iPhone in the toilet. It fell out of his pocket. So I'm preparing this one in readiness for if he actually needs it. He did get it fixed. I don't know by what means, whether he put it in a bag of rice or he got it repaired by the local mall electronics shop. But he said he's got it fixed. But I was preparing for it to go. Okay, so what you're making saying that Printoid talks to
Printer connected to Raspberry running Octoprint. Yes, I have a bucket of Android devices and another bucket of Raspberry Pi 3s waiting to be installed, waiting to have installed Octoprint on them and connect one to each printer. But that's time that doesn't make a worthwhile video. So I have to do it on spare time that I don't have right now.
Yeah, totally.
But that's a really good idea. Yes. What's making says that he's asleep.
So I missed that. So Thierry said his kids are crawling all over him at the moment, so he missed something.
Okay.
And What You're Making saying his are asleep because it's 11 p.m. there. So What You're Making's in Adelaide or South Australia, I'd imagine. Thierry 7:30 a.m. Yeah, it's 11:30 here for myself and Teresa. And
Mines are napping right now.
Yeah, so almost 3:30 p.m. for you.
Yes, that's it.
I still haven't made my little thing, but my world map of Twitter and YouTube followers, so I know time zones of each one.
Can you see the clock there?
Yeah.
And did you see how good can you read the time now?
Oh, totally. It's way better than the other place. Is that because of the angle, or?
No. Do you want me to show you what I did to improve it?
Yeah, of course.
It should be around here. Somewhere.
Texter. Color marker.
I did paint the faces of the digits with this. The segments I did paint it with it.
Okay.
I think I can show it.
Oh, so the actual red ones you coloured, the seven segments or the backgrounds?
Yes, I colored the segments.
Yeah.
With the marker.
What is it? Ultraviolet or something? What's the colour?
The marker. No. It's whiteboard black marker.
And why does it make it look better?
Because the thing is that you cannot read the digits because the light reflects on the white and makes it almost as bright as the light up segments.
Yeah, I got you now.
It adds contrast.
Cool.
Yes. So I will give it. So I think we should end up, as today's podcast started on time, I think we should finish it on time because I have lots and lots of stuff to do. And when my wife calls and says that the kids are awake, I will have to run home, and I still need to start one of those 140-hour sprints and so on, so I can have one more day of printing. So.
Okay, that's good for me.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining. We're glad to be back, both of us.
Yes.
Just recapping, we've both had hospital visits, which coincided with one another, and hopefully our Monday afternoons, evenings, mornings, whatever, are now pretty much clear. So we do look forward to seeing you next week, and thanks again. Yes, time for bed. I'll be napping very, very soon also. Ivan, thanks. I'll make sure you get the red M&Ms next week.
And the trailer.
And the trailer, yes, of course, with the gold star. Thierry, thank you. Yes, we'll stay healthy. Thanks, Brian, for visiting.
Yes.
And yeah, that's
thanks for coming by.
Pretty much it. So let me get rid of that one there, and that one there, and I will say thank you and good night.
Good night.